Welcome to Dwarf Fortress and welcome to the channel. I'm Twisted Logic. So as you play and create items and excavate stone, your game performance slows down over time. And once it comes to like a crawl, like a couple frames per second, that's what we call a FPS death. Dwarf Fortress is a single thread program, which means that it's only going to use one of the cores of a multi-core processor, and the majority of the processing requests for your CPU from Dwarf Fortress are going to go into pathfinding for every creature in the game. So the dwarves pathfinding, the animals pathfinding, and any other creatures that you have on the map. Right now, the majority of the dwarves' destination is the trade depot, and they're going to pick up an item and bring that item to a stockpile somewhere in the fortress. So when the dwarf is attempting to path from one side of the map to the other side of the map, or one part of the fortress to another part of the fortress, the CPU is not going to calculate the full path to get there, so that way it's easier to manage and the game feels more fluid. And so what this does is it breaks up the AI pathfinding into small chunks. One thing that we can do to take some of the guesswork out of the pathfinding calculations is to set traffic areas. And I access that menu by pressing this button here. Okay, and now you can see some of the traffic areas that I've already set. The green arrows here are high traffic area, and it only costs 1 point to walk in this zone. Okay, the area that doesn't have any designation on it is considered a normal traffic area, and that costs 2 points to walk in the area. This area here is a low traffic area, and that costs 5 points to walk in. And this area down here is considered a restricted traffic area, and it costs 25 for the dwarves to walk in this area. They will still go into a restricted area if they need to accomplish work in that zone. However, whenever they're pathfinding, they want to reduce the number of points they have from point A to point B. So when the dwarves are walking throughout the fortress, they're going to try and stick to these hallways that I've created, as well as these kind of pathways in and out of the tavern. I also have this set on my stairs here, and if I go to the different levels, I have this area here of workshops set as low traffic areas, so they don't try to path through the work area to get from one part of the fortress to another. So this atom smasher here is also set to a restricted area because I don't want any of the dwarves hanging out in there. As well as any areas that would be considered dangerous, I'm going to set that as a restricted area and children won't play there. The water system, for instance, whenever you build or carve tracks, those are automatically going to be set to low traffic areas. And then any dangerous areas I paint in as restricted areas, like the barrel of this shotgun. I also paint in the high traffic areas on all stairs so they don't prefer one stair over another, even if it doesn't connect like this one here on the bedroom layer. For this fortress design with the 9 staircases as this central hub, it's also a good idea to have a transfer layer, so that way if they need to get from this stairwell to this stairwell here, they'll do it on a transfer layer instead of through the workshops. I have one low in the fortress, as well as at the very top of the fortress up here. Pressing this arrow here is going to show us the advanced options, and we can play with these numbers a little bit, but I never needed to. Animals and non-citizens are not going to be affected by traffic areas, they're going to ignore them. And if you look here, I have way too many puppies and kittens, and we're slaughtering all of them to no longer send pathfinding requests from them, but we can also just put them in a cage. If you have an area of water on your map that freezes during the wintertime, it's a good idea to designate that as a restricted area, so that way dwarves aren't in the water when it freezes over. And it's also a good idea to set a high traffic roadway on the top of your map, so that way if something died over here, say a merchant cart was destroyed in this area of the map, they have a high traffic highway here. Thank you very much for watching, and subscribe for more videos.